far better day ahead because there's a homecoming. And you will probably find out now because that's exactly our theme for today is homecoming.
Coming home.
Oh, okay.
Coming home.
Coming home, homecoming, whichever. Someone is coming home. All right, Lynette, a very warm and welcome.
Thank you, Carlette. I'm quite excited about what's going to happen today. Now, those of you that have been listening to us for some time will know by now that I am the mother of quite a lot of children.
Yes.
And I've got 7 children myself with 7 children-in-law, and at this stage, 7 grandchildren, 8th one on the way. So we are multiplying.
Sure, multiplication.
Because we are so many, there's not place for all of us in South Africa. So some of them moved abroad. And I've got a daughter living in Canada, and she actually started the Fruitful Fig podcast and website and so on, just as part of her journey of surviving, a South African mother surviving in a country all by herself, and adjusting there, and the journey that the Lord took her on. But anyway, they are coming home for a little while. So we are very excited about that. They're on the plane, they're flying over Africa, and they will land or tonight later.
Soon.
But I always talk about something that's close to heart. And when I prayed about this week, the thing that just stood out in red capital letters was coming home. They're coming home. And that got me thinking. And of course, if we think about the Bible and which story in the Bible is really coming home, I immediately thought about the prodigal son in Luke 15. And then I thought, but everybody always talks about the prodigal son. But I'm a mom, and my child's coming home. So is that what I'm going to talk about? And I thought, no, I'm not. I thought, what about Matthew 19 verse 14, where Jesus actually calls the children to him.
My
child's coming home. So then I thought about that verse of Jesus calling children to come to him.
The little ones. Is it
the
that
little
one?
ones?
That's a special one for me as well.
And then what I went and I read it. You can go and read Matthew 19 verse 14 if you want to. When I read it, I really came to the realization that when Jesus speaks there, he speaks in simplicity.
Yes.
He doesn't look at the complexity of the situation, of the children that's interrupting or anything like that. He just speaks out of sincerity and say, let the children come to me. Why? Because they belong to God. He's got a father heart speaking, saying, let the children come to me. And where we are living and in the world, we often approach faith with intellect.
Yes.
Last Thursday I had a conference the whole day and it was a theological conference, talking about the Bible and the intellect about it and all that. But that's not how Jesus approached the children. He spoke to them plain and simple, not with intellect. They didn't have to perform to be his children. It was just come to me, simple, with no religious structure saying you have to do
X, Y, and Z.
To come to me. It's just with come to me. Let the children come to me. So it's not that Jesus asks us to be childish. He just says we need to be childlike.
And there's a difference.
There's a difference. Being childish is simple, light-hearted, not without depth.
Yes.
But that's not what children is. Childlike is just having faith without questions. I believe without questions. And I can compare this to a child standing on a shelf somewhere or on a height, and daddy says, jump, I'll catch you. So much confidence and trust, they jump and daddy will catch me. They don't think, but I'm going to fall with this speed, and if daddy is not strong enough, I'm going to weigh this much. If I calculate with this, what's the aantrekkingskrag van die aarde? Now I can't remember the
gravity.
English. Gravity, force of the earth. I'm going to weigh so much more if I come down at this. They don't calculate that. It's yes, I believe, and I jump.
And just do it.
And my daddy
Just
catches
do it.
me. And that's how the Lord is with us.
That's
we
beautiful.
we try to explain it through science. We try to give more meaning to it than just believe.
Yeah.
Just believe.
Sure.
Forget everything else and just believe. Just like a child, come to the Lord.
Yeah. Sure.
And this is about the condition of your heart. If you believe with your heart and not with your mind and try to explain it, that's what the Lord is asking of us. So if I want to, with my mind, try and explain this, I can compare it to the parents longing for a child just to come home. Now, I sometimes feel like the privileged one, the privileged child of the Lord, because I can honestly say not one of my children has gone the road where they deeply disappointed me before. There's no one of them that fell into drugs or alcoholism or anything like that I felt, but this is bad, which I really thank the Lord for. We had our ups and downs, things happening, but I never had that. But if I can just think about my heart not having an estranged relationship with one of my children, and how much my heart sometimes longs for them, I can just imagine if something happened along the road, say a parent having maybe a problem like alcoholism and the children don't want to come home anymore, or the child falling into something, that terrible longing that parent heart must have for that child to come home. Now, the Lord has that for us as well. If you don't believe, the Lord longs for you to come home to Him.
He actually tells you, knock, come and knock.
At my door.
Seek me out. And that is a kind of relationship that I love, and that's what I do with my parents. I seek them out. Well, where are you? In the house, or I know they're there, but
you go looking for
them.
I
look for them.
I want a relationship with them,
and that's the key to when children come home. It's a relationship. It's for us as children. We need to seek, and I think that is also the same with us and God. Is you need to seek Him out.
Yes. True, so true. So it's really not a cold transaction. It is an emotional, relational transaction between us and the Lord. So that is homecoming. So let's look at the nature of a child's heart. When Jesus tells His disciples not to hinder the children, He is confronting a mindset. Because I think in any tradition, little ones, in our Afrikaans tradition, little ones needs to be seen but not heard. You're not allowed to speak your mind. But I know in some other cultures now, South Africa is very diverse, and some other cultures in South Africa it's exactly the same. A child needs to be there, but they're not allowed to speak their mind. But what does the Lord say? He's confronting that mindset. He says that where children are seen insignificant, they are significant to Him. They are of importance to Him. So Jesus elevates them as examples of those who naturally belongs in the kingdom of heaven. So why does Jesus do that? Because children comes without pretense. I've just been telling Carlette, I had the privilege to look after two of my grandchildren yesterday afternoon. And they just who they are. They say what they want to say. They don't think of how's my Oma going to my Gogo, my grandmother, going to react if I say this. They just say it. They come as is. They come without pretense. And a child does not approach a loving parent with a rehearsed speech or a list of accomplishments to advertise themselves. They just run to you, open their arms, and jump into your arms. And that's what the Lord wants from us. He doesn't want us to come with any pretense.
Yes.
He knows you in and out.
Yeah.
You can try and tell him, but I'm this way or this way or this way. He knows you in and out. You can just run to him and find safety in his arms. And it is such a beautiful image to me of this little one running to mommy or daddy and jumping in their arms. And just imagine yourself, and we've actually got a painter in South Africa that's quite famous here, that paints paintings like that of Jesus standing with his arms open and people jumping into his arms. And it's such a nice image. Jesus invites the children to do that.
Yes.
Jesus invites us to come to him. As adults, we tend to complicate our relationship with the Lord. And I've just had a conversation with a lady that tells me, but I'm not good enough. You are good enough. We're trying to complicate it. Our mind tells us we're not good enough. But it doesn't matter what you went through in your life.
You're good enough.
You're good enough.
But that's the enemy's lie.
That's the enemy's lies. Just leave the pretenses. Just leave the lies of the enemy and just jump into the arms of God. A child's heart is marked by trust, believing the parent will receive them. And I must tell you, my daughter is turning 30 this year. She just, Mom, we're coming home. Excitement, not, Mom, will it be okay if we... No, she knew and she believed I can come home. Doesn't matter.
You know, Lynette, this is the nice part of having a relationship with parents, and see it in a Christian and in a spiritual way as well, is when you have a good relationship with mom and dad, it's actually as if, and I'm talking about myself now as well, I will tell them, listen, but not out of disrespect. It's just a relationship that we've got. Mom, I'm gonna do this. Actually, I'm telling her, Mom, just pray. I'm doing this and I don't have a clue what I'm gonna do, but I'm doing this. And I want to go and drink some coffee with you, because for me, spending time together and is actually my love language, is spending time with you. So
quality time.
Time. So for me, speaking out of my own life now, is having that relationship and just say, let's come, let's do this. Not ask. Say, this is how it's happening.
And you trust that this is the way it's going to work. And it works that way because
it happens.
It happens, So children just have that trust in I'm welcome in my parents' house. And then secondly, they also have a dependence on a good relationship with their parents. And we need to have a good relationship with the Lord as well. A child's development, and we've spoken about children's development before, but a child's development is actually dependent on a good relationship with their parents. And if you don't have that, the Lord can restore anything, but you actually grow up with a default, not a default, a setback. You have to start at a place way back than your friends that
it's a little bit behind.
Has that relationship with their parents. And then openness. Children feel free to express joy, pain, whatever they need with their parents, without pretense, like I said just now. And then the relationship with their parents gives them security. They feel, but I belong in this relationship. I belong in this family. I belong in this team. We call ourselves the clan. I belong to the clan. Okay, so it's not that they're weak. It's actually a very strong form of faith that we lose when we grow up and the world speaks in and the enemy speaks into our lives.
It makes sense.
It's actually a very strong form of faith. But a parent's longing, let's look at the parent's longing, and I'm going to compare that with the heart of God for his children. To understand the depth of Jesus' invitation, we must consider the heart of God as a father.
Yes.
Just as earthly parents long for their children and their children to knock on their door and come have coffee with them and just walk in and say, "Here I am," to spend time with them and build relationship, just like earthly parents long for that, God also long for that.
Yes.
Any parent who has experienced a distance from a child, like I have, like my one child's in Canada, the other one in Mauritius, whether it's a physical, emotional, or relational distance. Now, physical, it's like me. Emotional can be that you're not on the same wavelength emotionally. You've hurt each other and you can't speak emotions, which is so sad and so hurting. Or relational, I don't take the time to build a relationship with you. Any parent who has experienced that knows that aching heart, that thing of, I miss them. I feel I can just touch them. I feel I can just, now technology help with this, but talk to them. But still, it's different to hold them and feel them.
I think it's that mother's touch. You know what's nice for me is when I have a very long day, then I will either go to my dad or my mom, and my mom is usually the one that gets more hugs. Is just to hold my mom, and I just need to feel her breathing and her heartbeat, and just 2 seconds and then I'm fine again. But it's that physical touch that makes it so worth it.
I'm also thinking of so many of our elderly that's in retirement homes or living away from their children. How many times they sit there and they just long for my child, that aching longing for my child to be here. And that is exactly what the Lord also feels if we don't come to Him. That aching of, let them seek me. Let them come looking for me. And just as we as parents watch for signs of their return, Carlette and I just tracked their flight quickly on the phone to see where they are over Africa. Just as we're tracking their flight, God looks out and says, "Where's my child? My child's not coming. I'm calling. I've got this aching in my heart for my child, but my child is not coming." We need to turn to the Lord. The Lord will keep on hoping, but He will not make up your mind for you. He will not choose. We've actually got to serve a very polite Lord. He waits for you until you turn around.
You know what? It's you put it mildly saying polite, because He is that loving Father. He won't force Himself on you and say, "This is what I demand from you." He gives you free will.
He gives you free will. And if you read His word, which is our instruction manual for life, you will see how many times He says, just open the door. Just come to me. Just turn to me with your problems, with your heartache, with your longings. And He longs for you to do it. He longs for you to do it. And in Matthew He says, let the children come. It's not forced. It's not coerced. It's not earned. It's allowed.
Yes.
They're allowed to come to Him. They are welcome. And He desires their presence. God's longing is not based on your perfection, but on His love for you. Like a parent who never stops loving their child, doesn't matter what the child do, even when the child is far away emotionally, physically, what's the other one we said just now, but far away from them, their heart remains open. God's heart remains open for you. So just like the prodigal son who returned home and the father opened his arms and said, "Come home," and he actually organized a feast to welcome him home, that's the way the Lord will welcome you back. Now, let's consider a second image, or I want to consider a second image. A child who has left home. Sometimes children leave physically, and sometimes they leave emotionally, and sometimes they drift away without really we noticing it. Someday we wake up and we say, "But I've lost this child.
Yes.
And then that distance is real. It's like a big valley that you just can't cross. So with this distance that was created, that quiet longing comes. And even in if the child is a rebel or in rebellion, and even if they say, but I'm independent, I don't need you anymore, the desire for the child is also there to come home again. That's the way the Lord made us. Why? Because He's our Father and we are His children, and He wants us. And in any culture, in any faith avenue you're on, or where you are going for your beliefs, we are born in with that. I'm looking for a father or a mother or somebody that I can feel safe and secure with, and that is parents. So even if a child has left home, they want to return some other time. Even if you live self-sufficient, if you're capable and you're in control of your life, there's times that a longing will just surface and you want to go home. That's the way God designed you. And that's the reason why God designed us, is that we will seek the relationship with Him. So when we are distant from Him, something feels incomplete, and you can go and look for completion of this incomplete in financials, in material stuff. You can go and look for it in addictions. You can go and look for it in unhealthy relationships. You can go and look for it wherever in the world. You'll keep on looking. Because there will be no fulfillment if you do not fulfill it with the Lord.
Amen to that.
Only place where it can be fulfilled is in relationship with Him. So when you are distant from Him, something within you will always feel incomplete. You will try and fill this gap, but it cannot be filled. Like a child that's far away from home, we may feel uncertain about whether maybe we can return. We may fear that we may be rejected or disappointed when we return. And we may believe we must fix ourselves before we come back. Or we may carry some guilt about what we've done since we've drifted away from home. But Jesus' words cut through all of that. I said to you, He's coming simple and not with complexities. He comes with you, and He says, do not hinder them. So in other words, enemy, do not prevent them by telling them lies of they're not good enough, they made too many mistakes, they're not welcome here anymore. Scrape all of that, wipe it out. Do not hinder them. Not even your own doubts or fears should stand in your way of coming back to the Lord. Now, if you take the journeying back, coming to the Lord is not about the distance you traveled away from Him, but it's about the direction you take to come back. Turn around and come back to the Lord. Turn your heart around and look towards the Lord. A child coming home does not need a map to find his parents. They just need to be willing to return home. So the return home involves being humble. In humility, you need to come and say, I want to come home. Can I come home, Lord? And they need to acknowledge that they need the home. Then they need to trust that the door will be open. They need to knock, and God will open the door and He will receive you. And then we need to be honest. We need to be disarmingly honest and not hide your feelings. Talk to the Lord. Transparency. He knows you, but He wants you to voice what you are feeling. And then in your simplicity, just believe. Faith is often made so complicated, but it's only a human complication. Just believe and come back to the Lord. Not with layers of you need to perform this ritual or perform that or do this before you can come back. Your heart just needs to be sincere and say, Lord, I need you.
That's
I
it.
need you. That's it.
That's it.
Lord, I need
So
you.
simple as that.
And then when you come back, you will be received and not rejected. The Lord will receive you back. You will be loved by the Lord and not judged. And you will be restored. And from every failure that you had, the Lord will restore you. Just keep on knocking on His door, being there, being present, building your relationship with Him. We expect the Lord to, maybe I'm going to get a backlash for this, but use magic just to get us back with Him. But the Lord says, no, I'm not using magic. You need to knock, you need to come back, and you need to seek me and you build my relationship with me. You will find me. I'm here. And it's not the Lord moving away. It's not the Lord closing the door.
He's always so close.
It's we close the door, not the Lord. So come home to the Lord. That's what I'm asking you today. My child's coming home tonight. My doors are open for them.
No matter if it's 12 o'clock at night.
Doesn't matter when you come home. The Lord's doors will be open for you. Just come home to the Lord.
That is quite a message, Lynette. Just come home. Easy and simple. So we are tracking the flight, and there is somewhere in over Africa at this point in time. But what we do know is when you are maybe so far from home, come back. I'm gonna play. I've got this song that I was thinking of. It's a Ring and Robe from Bethel Music. It's you took it from the children's side. Let the children come to Jesus. But this one is, however, about the prodigal son coming back home. And maybe you find yourself being a prodigal out there, and you're like, oh, I can't come back home. You know what? Put that pride in your pocket and just come home.
Thanks for listening to the Fruitful podcast, originally produced for Just Gospel Radio, used with permission. You can find more at fruitfulfig.ca/links or support the work at buymeacoffee.com/fruitfulfig. And remember, every fig has a season.